So here we have my latest acquisition, this 2002 1045, which has been giving me some electrical issues, and it got to the point where I had no choice but to deal with it. Essentially what was happening was the batteries weren't going past the yellow marker, and one night it was very cold and it was raining, so I had the windshield wipers going, I had the heat going, and of course the lights were on, and that essentially drained the entire batteries. The other thing that was different, or that I couldn't figure out why, was my tachometer wasn't working either. So in this video I'm just going to quickly walk you through some of the steps I took to ultimately figure out what was wrong with the truck. So luckily I had a slave cable laying around, and of course I've got several Humvees to pick from. So I brought one of my Humvees next to this one and of course jumped it. As soon as I did, let it run for a little bit while still on the cable tethering, and the batteries went up to the green where it belonged. Then I unplugged it and I noticed the batteries of course dropped back down to the yellow. So we took out the voltmeter and we started checking out the voltage at the batteries. It was below where it needed to be, again representing the yellow markers. So what we did next was we opened up the doghouse and started looking for any obvious shorts or anything of that nature. We looked underneath the instrument cluster for any shorts or anything of that nature, and we found none. So then we went ahead and started checking for the ground. We checked for the ground all around the doghouse, and we checked for the ground in the engine compartment. So once we had checked for the ground and we had checked the battery levels, which seemed to match the voltage indicator inside of the instrument cluster, we started inspecting the alternator or the generator. And what we realized very quickly, well, first we checked the ground on the alternator as well, and that also was good. So then we went ahead and tried to check the output, the voltage output. And we were actually only outputting approximately 13-14 volts. So we realized that that was going to be where source of our problem was. Doing some research online, what everybody was suggesting was that the dual voltage regulator seems to be primarily the issue and not the generator itself. Luckily we had a couple of Humvees laying around, so we took the dual voltage regulator off of a truck that we knew was good. We plugged it in, and she was actually good to go. And that actually fixed, number one, the amount of energy going to the batteries, and now we're staying in the green. And it also fixed the tachometer, and so that was good. So I went ahead and ordered a new one, and essentially to take this apart, we've got to undo this connector, these two right here, this one right here. There's two bolts here, one more bolt on the right hand side, and we're off. You can find some of the discontinued ones of these on eBay. I think there's two versions of them on eBay right now. One generation back I think is 200 something, and I think 2 or 3 generations back is approximately 100 something. I went ahead and ordered a brand new OEM one. If you need one ordered, let me know. And this is the new voltage regulator. As you can see, it was inspected in 2017. Our number one step is the most important step, which is to disconnect the battery power. You always want to do that when working on major component items such as this. So first we disconnected the battery power. Then we disconnected the 5 electrical connectors on the voltage regulator. Then we took out the 3 bolts that hold it in place. One key thing to be careful with is on the right hand side, underneath that bolt, there is a spacer. Be careful not to lose that spacer, and make sure you put it back on when you're there, otherwise it will not be balanced from a spacing perspective. And finally, I would like to thank Joey from True Prep. He came out here, spent the day with me on troubleshooting what was going on with this truck. He's a very nice guy, and they have a pretty cool shop. Feel free to check it out, True Prep. And if you like this video, feel free to subscribe. Hit the notifications button so you get notified whenever we have new videos. Thank you and take care.